That is awesome. All right, let's do this. Let's have some fun today. So I do have notes. I have my call is in another window. I know my call is in another window. Come on now. Let's see. Let me close this. I'm just closing out a few things over here. Minimizing. I think a lot of people need to start minimizing. Is it over on this side? Yeah, there we are. Cool. All right, let's go over here to the chat. Let's see here. We got public chat. Great. Let's get that open here. I'm not sure which one it's on, but look, we're just gonna get it in right now. I gotta represent the factory because that's what it's all about, making sure the factory is there with it. Representing Southeast San Diego today, baby, represented every day. And got that gangrene, not gangrene, the disease, but gangrene. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk today. We're gonna talk. And one thing that man, yeah, a lot of successful people today, a lot of people who are successful in their career, right? Let me do this real quick. Go ahead. I think what happens is a lot of people appreciate the praise that they get from other people, right? When it comes to businesses, when it comes to the praise of man, like my CEO is so cool. I have the best boss ever. The praise is great. And you'll see quite a few people where it's like, it sounds good, it sounds great, it sounds phenomenal. And they're putting in a lot of time and effort into the business. I get it. Like I put a lot of time and effort into my business as well. But what's happened is there's a sacrifice. There comes with sacrifice. Okay. And a lot of times as an entrepreneur, as a nine to fiver. But let's talk about the busy professional. Let's talk about the career driven person who's looking to run their business. When they have a successful business, people start to sacrifice the health. So I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna look at people straight in the face. I'm gonna look at you right in the eyes, or as Kevin Nash one time said, I'm gonna shoot right between the eyes. And I lost my remote. I wish you were here. Man, I love this song. How I wish you were here. All right, let's go. This is what I like about going live is that I just go live. I just tell it like it is. Just tell it like it is. Um, so got it. Okay, cool. Don't mind me. Not looking to gain. Um, so how do I want to phrase this? It's a good way to say it. I'm trying to think of how to do this to where it's going to really hit people in the mouth. So you got the title, you got the salary, you get the accolades, you got all the cool stuff that's going on as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody who's working long hours to make sure that the career is a success. You got the money, but your health has taken a back seat and now you're struggling. But you don't want to tell anybody because why? You don't want nobody to look at you that way or judge you that way because you know it's true when your health is taking a back seat and you're starting to decline and you're focusing on the financials more than anything, you realize how much you've been struggling inside. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that. So if this is going to hit you in the mouth, good, but I'm hitting it with good respect. And I want to make sure that I'm very direct. I don't sugarcoat anything. The main thing is this is that when people are realizing that they're putting their financials in front of their own health, they spend a lot of times spending that financials to regain their health. And I'm pretty sure that you guys have heard where people say, you know, if there's a millionaire or a billionaire that can take all their money and spend it just to have another day of life or another breath of life, they would do it. Right. And so we hear those things, we hear those cliches, you know, man, I'll die for my kids, or I'll die for this and that, and I'll die for these things. But it's like, will you live for it? Okay, you're career driven, you're financially driven, you're business driven. I get it. It's great. Do it. Great. I'm not saying don't do it. But what I am saying is that treat your career the same way you would treat your health. If you're really driven about building a business, you better be driven about building your body and making sure that you want to be around for a very long time to enjoy the financial wealth that you have created. You can do both. Okay, but I'm tired of the excuse. I'm tired of the, well, you know, like my health is taking a back seat because I got to make sure that I'm earning this amount a year. Well, how about both? Can you do that instead of checking emails late at night at 11 o'clock And then you're waking up tired and dragging cheeks the next day. And then it's like, you know what? I'm just tired. I can't do this anymore. Right. I'm gonna just stop with my health. I'm gonna stop with the gym. I'm gonna stop with, eating right. I gotta do it. Next thing you know, you're 75 pounds overweight. Okay. And I want to give you a little bit of a story, of course, because I really believe in the truth of storytelling, telling it like it is, and making my own story, giving you my own story as well, because it's like this. When you realize how much time you're spending to get the accolades, to get the finance, to get the Rolls Royce or the Cadillac or whatever it may be, and your health is in the back, you're struggling. And when you pull up to those meetings and when you're pulling up into the building and when you're pulling up to these conferences and you realize how bad you look when you look at photos, when you look at videos and you trying to hide from it, you post your headshot only on LinkedIn because you don't want people to see the rest of your body. It's a shame. But a lot of people are hiding that. A lot of people don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. But I'm going to talk about it today. And I hope you enjoy this. All right. So let's get it. Yeah, that. Now, one of the first people that I had the opportunity to help when it comes to their body was a CEO of three different companies, and he was traveling quite a bit. He was like, I'm traveling to three different states during the week. It was on the West Coast, so it wasn't too far, but it was like Washington, it was um, Colorado, and then it was, coming back home into the South. But the thing is that the traveling schedule could be very, very hectic on people. Okay. And even though he was very, very financially successful, he was struggling with his weight. He was struggling with his body. And he's just like, look, man, like I've been struggling for years now. I built this successful business. I make great money, but man, I am like really overweight and I actually feel my absolute worst. Can you help me? And I know him personally. And I'm like, yeah, of course I can help you. Come on, brother. You've seen my transformation. You know how it is. You've known me since I was in fifth grade. You know me and you know I can help you. You seen when I was this chubby kid and I grew up to be a chubby adult, a huge obese adult, and then I lost the weight and then I put it all back on and then I did it again, right? Of course I'm gonna help you. And so he's like, okay, great. And back then, this was, I say back then, like it was the 1900s, but this was about 4 years ago. And he was like, I want to make sure that I have a good meal plan. I know what to do, right? This is what a lot of people say, when you're trying to lose weight and you're working this hectic schedule. I know what to do. I just need to do it. And I'm like, okay, good. But here's the other thing, too. A lot of people are very hesitant to say, I need help. And that's where you really have to open up and say, you know what? I need help. It's okay to say that. You're not looking at as being weak. You're not looking at as being frail. You're not looked at as being soft. What you're doing is you're saying, I need help. Can you help me? And it's not like I need help. But the more you hold it in and the more you try to keep it to yourself and you try to play, you try to play around and be like, nah, I'm good, the more you hurting. Let's just keep it real. I was 335 pounds when I was in my 20s, 40% body fat, GERD, acid reflux, high blood pressure, low testosterone. I always like to put those two together. High blood pressure, low testosterone. It should be the opposite. It should be regular blood pressure and high testosterone. But I was the opposite. Why? Because of the choices that I made. I didn't like the way I felt. And I was buying bigger clothes just to cover up and hide the insecurities that I was dealing with. Okay. And so what's happening is with the CEO, he was like, man, I'm traveling a lot and I got to show up to these meetings and conferences. And I just don't like the way I look and feel. What I like about that the most is that he was very transparent and he was able to give me a background so I can visualize and say, you know what, this is where you're at right now, but this is where we're going to get you. Okay. But I'm going to make sure that you execute with me, okay? Because I'm gonna walk with you every step of the way. And he's like, I know, and I know what to do. I just need to do it, and I just want you to hold me accountable. Cool, bet. And I need you to make me a meal schedule. And at this time, I didn't have my app. I was using Excel, and I was scrambling. Okay, let me get this. Let me get this meal set up for him. I had to type it all in. This was way before the AI era. This was way before like fitness apps were coming into play. And I was just like, okay, let me get it done for you. I got it done for him. And the thing is that long story short, of course, he lost 75 pounds in a year, traveling to three different states every week, going to conferences, going to meetings. And I would say about the third or fourth week, he was so into his new routine, his new schedule. He was like, man, I am hooked. You got me. We're connected. I'm like, bet, good. I like it. I like to hear that. Why? Because you're making a change. You're wealthy, and now you're being wealthy in health. Okay. So when people go, health is wealth, but they're 450 pounds and they ain't doing nothing about it, I'm not trying to shame anybody or anything of that nature. And people have gotten soft over the course of time. But when people say stuff like that, hey, health is wealth, but then they realize that they're not practicing what they say, I just shake my head like, come on, man, you say that, but you're not living it. I live it every single day. And as he was continuing to build his business, he was now building that body, that dream body that he's been looking for. He felt better. He was living better. He was giving better. He gave more to his company. He gave more to his employees. He was giving so much more to his family. Why? Because his body was starting to get better. His energy was getting better. The way he felt was better. And so instead of staying up late at night, replying to all these emails, he was like, you know what? I'm going to go work out and I'm going to make sure I get that good sleep. And I'm going to make sure that I'm checking in every week with coach because if I don't, he's going to call me out. You damn right I'm going to call you out because I want to make sure you're getting from where you are to where you want to be. It's that simple. Accountability is legit. If he's reaching out and saying, hey, you know what? I need that help. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be there for you. And I'm going to make sure that we do it right and that we enjoy the process because you're going to look back one day and say, I'm glad I did, instead of saying, I wish I would have. So let me ask you, do you want to look back one day and say, I'm glad I did it? Or do you want to look back one day and say, man, I wish I would have done it? The choice is completely up to you, fam. And so with him losing 75 pounds in a year, he was able to do so much more for not only himself, but for his family, for his businesses, for his employees. And he continues to be successful to this very day in his health and in his wealth. So why can't anybody else do that? We can. That's the thing. We can do it. We just look around and go, one day I'm going to get there. One day I'm going to get the weight loss going on. I'm going to start on Monday. Okay. I know I've been busy. I know schedules are hectic. I know my workload is a lot. But you also know that your body is hurting. You also know that you're getting more medication now because the way you feel. You know that you're having more inflammation in your body. You're waking up feeling pain. And then you go to the office or you go to your business and then you're like, hey guys, let's talk about today's topic. And it's going to be this. And you're like, hey, what's happening? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I got you. Thank you for jumping in on my live. I appreciate it. I'm gonna edit this and do I can stop real quick. I'm gonna edit this and do like a full video. But this is where I'm at now. You caught me. You got me. Um, so so as I'm talking about, the struggles that he went through, it was a matter of saying, you know what, I need to take care of me, and then I'm gonna give that to the rest of everybody else. I'm gonna give it to my employees. I'm gonna give it to my career. I'm gonna give it to my family, my kids. That's what he did. My grandkids, right? He became very successful all around now, and that's the beauty of it. Is just like, look, like if we can go ahead. Let me stop real quick. If we can go ahead and we can take care of our bodies on a daily basis, we know we have to work. We know we have to make money. We know we have to pay bills. We know we have to feed our families. We know that. But why do we continue to put ourselves in the back seat? Why do we continue to reach out to everybody else and give them 100% and we're giving ourselves 0 or 25%? We'll give 100% to replying to emails. We'll give 100% to texting. We'll give 100% to doom scrolling, but we give ourselves nothing. And then we go, oh, we don't have time. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to make the meals. I don't have time to do that. And for people who are CEOs or entrepreneurs and they're making a good amount of money, one question that I do ask, and I'm just, I'm being real, and I say, what do you have more of? And I think that's very important for people to understand and realize to start. What do you have more of? Do you have more time or do you have more money? And they go, well, I do have some, money. I just don't have a lot of time, because that's what a lot of us say, right? We don't have the time. Okay. Well, if you don't have a lot of time and you have more money, then won't you go ahead and order a meal plan service to buy you more time or to save you more time? Because now you don't have to spend that time prepping your meals. You could just pay someone to send you your healthy meals. And then from there, you're just like, okay, great. Like, I feel good. Yes. Thank you. Okay, cool. And you could do that more, right? You can now afford to buy more time back for you because now you're investing in your health. But if you don't have more money and you have more time, well, you better spend that time investing in your health, because if you don't, you're going to end up spending more time in the hospital. You're going to end up spending more money paying for these medications. You're going to waste more time on things that you don't need. So that's the difference. So I ask him, do you have more money or do you have more time? Now, of course, he had a lot of money. So he was like, I can get whatever I want to buy more time because I'm traveling to 3 different states per week. I'm running these different companies and my schedule is literally overboard. This was one of my very first clients. You talk about going in foots first. I went all in on this one. Hectic schedule, 3 states a week, traveling nonstop. Got to raise my family, go back home every week, build these businesses, write me a plan, hold me accountable. Help me, Tony. I need to lose weight. I need to feel better. Bet, got you. 75 pounds in 1 year from following what I told him to do and holding him accountable and setting up his nutrition and making sure he's getting his exercises in. And this was all in Excel. This was before my app. And he still did it. So it's like, why can't you? Why can't you do that? Why? Because it's the choices that you make. You're so focused on the financials. If I just reply to this one more, if I reply one more email tonight, then I'll be good. If I could just catch up on my work and work overtime, then it'll free me for next week. But then next week is just as worse. So it's like you have to really prioritize your health and your wealth because we only get one body. We can build businesses, we can have different careers, we can do that, but we get one body no matter which career we choose or which job we take or which business we build. We get one body and we have to live in it every single day. I can go out this office right now and go into another one, but the body that I'm walking in is going to be the same body. So why not build the best of it? That's the challenge. That's the problem that a lot of people are facing. They're just like, oh, one day it'll come. Anyway, I'm gonna read a few things real fast, but when I start talking about this stuff, I really get into it because I really care about people's health, man. Like losing 130 pounds, it took me a while, right? And I tell you guys, I went from being fat to fit, back to fat again. And then I was able to get fit again, and now I know what to do for the rest of my life. And that's why I come on here and talk about this stuff with you because I really want to help. Okay. So um the thing is that let me talk about something else real quick. Um Another thing, like the thing for what I like to tell people, of course, this could sound a little bit cliche, but how do you become bulletproof as a boss? Okay. A boss, BAWSE. But how do you become bulletproof? And not like just, you got to be still and you got to do all this stuff. But what I'm saying is that you want to get to the point where you do become bulletproof. Okay. So what I mean by this, and I'm gonna just break it down for you real fast. When we're all together and we're doing our job, and a lot of us work from home, but before then when we were sitting here together working and then we go out to go have our meals, or some people are going out to happy hour. Hey, Tony, let's go out to happy hour. And before I was like, okay, cool, right? And then I'll have my some wings, and I'd have, this is before my lifestyle change of plant-based, but I would go out there to hang out, to fill in, to fit in, right, with my coworkers. But the choices I was making was absolutely pathetic. And so I continued to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But then one day in April of 2019, I was like, I am sick and tired of feeling horrible. I'm over here talking about I used to be in fitness and wrestling and my health was good. And they're looking at me like, really? And in my head, I'm just like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I'm over here talking about health. And they're just, for real? Right? So the way you even look, people are going to judge. People are going to question you. So when people are spitting out the mouth like this, they're like, dude, you talking about over here being bulletproof. He ain't bulletproof. Dude is soft. So what's happening is this is when I started to make that lifestyle change, I applied intermittent fasting. That was the first thing that I did. I started to learn more about it. I didn't take it serious at first, but I started to learn more about fasting. And then I applied it on a daily basis. And I started incorporating faster workouts, faster cardio. I started losing the weight and I started making better choices. And over the course of time, my coworkers who were first like, I don't know about that, they were like, hey, I noticed that you're losing a lot of weight. Like, what are you doing? Now I'm in the spotlight. So the light is shining on me now because they coming over and asking questions. So I'm sitting here talking to them for like 10, 15 minutes and they just sitting there just like, for real? Really? Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, that's it. Like, you're not taking any weight loss pills or anything? No, I don't need, I tried all that for years. I tried all that stuff. And I'm just like, it didn't work. It would work for like 2 weeks and then it wouldn't work because here I am not developing habits, not developing this tight mindset that I need or this bulletproof mindset. It didn't work. But I know what to do now. And so when I was over 310 pounds back in 2019, and I started incorporating the fasting, the faster workouts, the faster cardio, and I was feeling better. And people started asking questions. Those questions that people were asking me about how to lose weight, how to lose the body fat, that motivated me even more to keep on going. I didn't rely on motivation, but I loved the feedback that I was getting from my coworkers because they saw the results. The results speak louder than me just saying this and I'm looking like this. Because then they're like, no, I don't want to hear that. You ain't looking the part. But then when I started to change and they saw it, they was like, okay, like, hey, talk to me. Like, what are you doing? That's the best feeling you want to have. Be in that spotlight. So when they going out to happy hour now, I could still go out there, but I just know what choices to make. Or I'm just like, nah, I got to go take care of whatever it needed to be taken care of. And they're like, okay, cool, bet, like no problem, because they knew and they respected the results. That's how you become bulletproof. When people respect your results, you become bulletproof. Why? Because of the habits that you've built over the course of time, even when it's setbacks, even when it's challenges, even when it's a crazy environment, even when there's chaos, and you are becoming more and more consistent on your daily habits and you're stacking wins and you're giving that information to other people because of the results that you have now. People are going to be like, tell me more, help me out. I need more help, please, like what can I do? And they just sitting there, they're just like, yeah, tell me more. And it's just it's the best feeling because you're now giving the best version of you to them who are saying, can you please help me? I've been struggling. And when I was going through my transformation again, my lifestyle transformation or my health transformation, there was another guy who was sitting over there and he was just like, nah, Tony he's just saying all this stuff, but he saw my change. And here's one of the biggest things that a lot of people face is that when people start to see your results, you'll get some praise, but you'll also get hate. And that's totally fine. Don't fall for it, okay? The CEOs, the entrepreneurs, when my CEO, the one of the first clients that I was able to help, he's a CEO, his employees are looking at him and they're just like, man. Now, of course, it's different when you're the CEO because people are already going to look at you different because you're the one writing the checks. So they're just giving praise like, wow, this is awesome. You look great. This is, nose getting browner and browner. You're looking great. But when you're an employee and you're a peer, some people will hate straight up. And then there's going to be people who will secretly hate and just kind of stand in the back and just be like, oh, whatever. That's good though. You want that because it's all about you. It's not about them. Okay. So I know I'm kind of getting all over the place, but what I'm saying is this is that when you're able to just literally have those results that are so bulletproof that people come up to you and ask you questions, it's the best thing in the world, man, because you know that the work that you're putting in is worth it. You know that the progress that you're accepting right now, that you're taking on, is worth it because people will come up to you then. So when the CEO, of course, I keep all names anonymous, but when he lost that 75 pounds in a year, and when he was showing up to those conferences and those different meetings, people were like, wow, you look great. And when he was speaking on business stuff, they looking at him like, yeah, I hear you. I'm listening. Because what happens is his dedication, his progress, his energy changed. The way he felt about himself changed because of how he looked. So when he's presenting, the energy comes out that way. When he was presenting before, of course, he's still talking about business. He's very smart. He's business driven, but the energy wasn't the same. But when he was out there now, 75 pounds lighter, feeling much better, energy is up, feeling more confidence. And he could say the same thing in a business meeting talking about business, but it's just different. It hits different because his energy is different. He's not carrying all that pain in his body, that inflammation in his body, that pressure in his body, the hurt in his body, the lack of confidence in his body and in his brain. He's just out there just spitting, and they're just looking like, dang. And then they're taking it in more because they're like, dang. And they're probably going, dang, well, how can I get like that? My boss over here running a business, traveling 3 states a week, and I'm over here just doing my 9 to 5 with one job, and I'm over here making excuses. What's wrong with me? Now they checking themselves. But now he's the example. He's in the spotlight now. You can be in the spotlight, but you got to make the progress instead of making excuses. That's the difference. And that's why I always ask the question, which side do you want to be on? Excuses or progress? When it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, you know you got to go to bed. Are you sitting there doom scrolling? Or are you saying, you know what, I got everything ready for the next day, got my clothes out, got my meals going, I'm ready to go. I'm going to get that good sleep because I got to take care of my body. Everything is going to be around the next day, whether you hear or not. Social media is going to be around. The emails will still be there. And one of my good friends, she told me a while back, she said, if those emails are very, very urgent, they will call you. So in other words, it can wait. But I got to get these emails. I got to reply. You say that, but your body is over here saying, can you reply to me? Can you help me? Because it's urgent. Because these medications ain't solving a problem. It's just masking the symptom. How do you want to treat your body? Oh, health is wealth. Yeah, okay. Let's see if you can live that health is wealth mentality. But if you just speaking it, like I was speaking it at 335 pounds, ain't nobody listening. But when you start to change, people are like, dang, okay, I'm all ears now. What's up? Be in that spotlight. Be bulletproof. That's how you become bulletproof. How? Three things. Your mindset changes, the habits that you continue to stack and win, and the results that you have. That's how you become bulletproof. Because once you put in that work and people try to challenge you, you're just like, okay, got you. What else? Next. Oh, well, what about this diet over here? And what about that? And that's what happened. The guy that was hating on me, he was like, well, I heard keto was better than doing vegan and intermittent fasting. I'm like, really? It's funny because you're 90 pounds overweight and I've done lost all my weight again and I lost the body fat and people are asking me questions, but ain't nobody asking you questions. How come? Oh, whatever. It is what it is. I became bulletproof. You can become bulletproof by those three things: changing the mentality, developing the habits and being consistent with it, and then showing those results. And your body is your billboard. And when your body is your billboard, that's the result. People approach you different. People will approach you different when your body is looking different. People will go, well, I don't judge. Yes, you do. We all do. Just by the appearance in itself. You'll notice something when people go like this and they acknowledge you. For men, when they acknowledge you like this, that's a sign of respect. They respect the result. You can be bulletproof. Okay. We ain't going to be soft anymore. We're not going to be doing that. Okay. And so that's why I want you to go ahead and get that book that I put in the description, go download it and start to apply it. If you can reply to emails, you can apply with the book that I gave you. Okay. So please do it. Okay. Not all this, oh, this is great. This is feeling cool. This is awesome. I'm motivated. Nah, you want to be bulletproof? Let's go. Let's all be bulletproof together. That's why I have a bulletproof community talking about it, on the journey together, living that lifestyle, making those lifestyle changes, going through the setbacks, going through the challenges, trading in the progress now instead of excuses. And that's why they're getting the bulletproof results because they follow those three things too. That's what my school community is all about. That's what it's all about. So you want to be that bulletproof CEO? You want to be that bulletproof 9 to 5? You want to be that bulletproof entrepreneur? Follow those three things and start doing it today. Not on your birthday, not on January 1st, not on a magical Monday, because that stuff ain't real. Any day that ends with the letter Y, you can get started on. Okay. I think it's quite simple to understand that. And I think you could do it that way. So go ahead and get the book, download it for free. And if you want to join my bulletproof school community, let me know. Holler at me. We'll make it happen. Other than that, if you don't want to be bulletproof, then you can go ahead and go in this lane where it says excuses and it's in big bold letters. That's where a lot of people are. Or you could be in that bulletproof lane where it says progress, results, winning, lifestyle. Choice is completely up to you. All right, fam. So once again, do you want to look back one day and say, I wish I would have? Or do you want to look back and say, I'm glad I did it? Let's get it. Yeah, that. Ooh, do 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 do. I love it. I love talking about this. I like how my screen ain't working either. Oh boy. All right. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Let's go here. What's this? Oh, the lights just went out. Mean I didn't pay my bill. And I'm back, and I'm trying to hit in present